Mhm.
Welcome everyone to District 21 Seminar Sunday, our weekly episodic adventure in seminars where we learn more about what's going on within a district, but also learn more about how to use tools and capabilities that Toastmasters provides to make our meetings and our programs more effective. Tonight we have a very special guest. We have Michelle Alba Lim, who is the past district director for District 7. She's also a member of District 21, belonging to our one of our online clubs or combined online clubs. And she's going to be walking us through the program or about the advanced and specialty clubs. So please welcome and give a warm welcome to Michelle Alba Lynn.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And if I'm looking a little bit cockeyed, that's because I was queuing my slides, trying to see the screen behind to cue my slides at the same time that I was listening and looking at you, I hope. So let's get those slides queued. And I hope, as they always say in the airlines, this is flight 777 heading for whatever. If you're on the wrong flight, time to get off. So this is the session on advanced and specialty clubs. If you came for something else, it might be the wrong Sunday, but hey, stay anyway, because hopefully we will have fun and you will, I hope, take something away from this session. So it's 2019, March 24, and as Sean mentioned, this is I like the way he said episodic. It's like, the TV series Game of Thrones and all that. And I want to start by checking how well do folks know their Toastmasters clubs. Now, I had wanted to have Zoom polls where you could anonymously answer so you wouldn't have to reveal if you're getting the answer right or not. Now, since we don't have that option right now, we had a bit of a late start getting on Zoom. If you're comfortable unmuting yourself and answering the question, please do. And hey, we're Toastmasters. If we don't get the answer right, that's why we're here, because we want to learn what the answer is, right? So, first question. A community club can be an advanced club. Just unmute yourself and just shout out the answer.
No.
Okay, I think that was that Raymond who said no?
No,
So,
I say no too.
Okay, so we have two no's, and is there any yes?
Actually,
so is your question, can a community club be an advanced club?
Correct.
yes, it can.
Who was that? Who was that? Was that Marie?
That's right.
Yes, I think it can as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
hang on to those answers. So number two, a specialty club can be a community club.
Specialty club.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'm hearing yeses. We'll stop right there while we're ahead. Number three, an advanced club can be a specialty club. I know you probably need to think this through a little bit. An advanced club can be a specialty club.
I would say yes.
Okay, that was Raymond.
I think so.
Yes.
Awesome.
Catherine.
I love that. Marie and Catherine said yes at exactly the same time. It was like synchronized yes. Great. Number four, an advanced club and a specialty club are different club types or different types of clubs.
Yes.
I know it's
It
getting
can
a
be.
little bit. Okay. So any other answers? An advanced club and a specialty club are different types of clubs.
Different from each other, or do you mean different from community clubs?
They're different. See, I was trying to fit it all into one line. If I worded it correctly, it would be an advanced club and a specialty club are different types of Toastmasters clubs, but that
Yes.
wouldn't fit into one line.
They can be, or they can be the same type of club. We have a specialty and advanced club together.
Is that Catherine?
Yes.
Thank you, Catherine. Okay, so number 5, an online club cannot be a community club.
No.
Why not?
Yes, it can.
Okay, was that Catherine or Marie? Trying
Catherine.
Yes, it can,
Catherine.
Marie.
Yes, it can. Okay, and number 6, an online club can be part of a district.
Yes.
Yes.
Not a full online club.
Yeah, I knew Sean was going to object to that. Was that Sean or was it
Yeah,
Raymond?
that was Sean.
Okay, yes. And number 7, an on-site or brick and mortar club can allow online attendance. That's like a
Yes.
bonus. That's a bonus question. Yes. Yes, it can. Okay. Now, you will remember your answers to those questions as we go right into the next slide, which immediately answers the first question. Any club type may be an advanced club. In other words, there you see it, a community club can be an advanced club. Now, if you're wondering, hey, where'd you get that? This is when you want to start a new club, you go to Toastmasters. They now have an online tool for applying to organize a club. So there you have the choices: community, company, government, correctional, college, church, online. You can choose any of those and then check if you want it to be an advanced club. So any club type may be an advanced club. And by the way, just in case for some reason I seem to be talking about something that you're not seeing, it probably means the slide didn't move with me. So just holler and say, hey, slide's not moving. So an online community club may be an advanced club. That's a mouthful. An online community club may be an advanced club. So remember a couple of those questions. So actually, a community club can be an online club, and it can also be an advanced club. Rather than talk about it, I want to show an example. I hope you can see on the screen. This is Global Trainers Online. It's a 100% online club. See, it says community as far as the club type, and it says online attendance, of course, and it says advanced club, and then it says restricted. So we're going to go to that, restricted. The restricted membership is actually what makes the club an
Special.
advanced club.
Okay.
We're going to go to specialty in a while. That's so much fun. We're going to get there. I'm really excited about that part. So advanced clubs might, I underline the might, require dual membership, because advanced clubs don't always need to have dual membership. However, and if any of you, this should be for a different session about how to start clubs, but if any of you have tried to start a club or have started clubs like I have, you will know that if you're trying to get a club started, it's oftentimes easier to start with dual members because people are already sold to Toastmasters. And that's one reason why many advanced clubs start with dual membership, but it does not have to have dual membership. So you might say, well, what are the other reasons, or what are the other ways that a club can be considered advanced? Ta-da! There are many other possible reasons. One is, or not reasons, but requirements. You can say, for example, the membership has to be somebody with either advanced communication or advanced leadership awards. Meaning it could be an ACB, it could be an ACS, it could be an ALB, or you might even say, my advanced club is only for distinguished Toastmasters. We had one of those in Founders District before, and I know a couple of District 27 has DTM Masters. That's actually the name of the club, DTM Masters. So they're all distinguished Toastmasters. What could be another requirement? You could say, well, we will only accept members who have had valuable contributions. It could be they have patents, they're an author, they're a community leader. You decide. Sky's the limit. Or you could say, I want the members of my advanced club to only be accredited speakers. Cheryl Rausch actually has a club only for accredited speakers. AS, I think it's just called AS, advanced speakers, or rather accredited speakers. Or you could say members have to have won in a contest. You can decide you want it to be area contest, division contest, district contest, or world championship. Ooh, that's going to be hard. Or, or must have given a TEDx talk. Whatever. Again, see, the criteria that you set is yours to decide. I've had advanced clubs that set, in terms of number of years, must have been a Toastmaster for 2 years. I was invited to another club that said must have been 5 years with Toastmasters. I'm like, are you really sure? But anyway, you can set that criterion. Or, and this is very common, you can say must have completed X number of speeches. Usually it's 5 or 6 or 7, whatever. Or now with pathways, X number of levels or X number of paths. Again, it's up to you. Or you could set based on expertise. You might say that the person has to be a trainer. Like in my case, the club I started, the example I showed earlier, Global Trainers Online, they needed, or members had to have some training experience. Do you know that there's a new club called DJ Masters? They have to have disc jockey experience or MC experience. So that's their criterion. Or it could be an educational criterion. You must have an MBA, or I would never recommend that, but you know, some people may say you must have a PhD. Whew, good luck with that. Or, and this is also very, well, not very, but this is fairly common, must have district service. Could be, what was it, District 407 in, no, Club 407 or 409 in District 1. They only accept past district governors and past district directors. Or must be a member of the DEC. Or must be a club officer. Whatever it may be. These are some. These are just some, see? There are many others. I just wanted to force fit it into advanced, as you probably noticed. So there are many possible ways to set the bar for advanced clubs. Now, advanced clubs, whatever the restrictions you put, that's what will appear, or there will be a message when people go to find a club. They will see a message that says membership restriction. This club may have professional and or educational prerequisites for membership. Please contact the club. And that's when you can explain, or in your website. It doesn't specify here, this is like a generic statement, but all advanced clubs will have certain membership restrictions. So that's what makes an advanced club. And I know some of you are thinking, well, what about specialty clubs? Well, we're going to get there. But before we get there, a little bit of a clarification about online clubs, right? Because we talked about online clubs during the quick survey. So online clubs, as of March 24, which is today, these are the online clubs throughout the Toastmasters world. So you see, an online club can be a community club, can be a corporate club, or can be an advanced club. My club, Global Trainers Online, is here. And then I have another club, Witty Storytellers, which is over here. And by the way, I have already emailed the DJ and MC Toastmasters. They seem to be misclassified. They're under community when actually they should be advanced, but I guess they they're just very recently chartered. If you want to visit these clubs, you can click on this and it will bring you, because these are not clickable, but down here you can click on the resources online clubs list and it will bring you to those clubs. So those are the online clubs. But see, remember I had a question about on-site clubs that allow online attendance. That's a different animal from online clubs. And District 21 has I think it jumped. I'll get back to that then in a short while. The slides got mixed around. I was playing with them, so I apologize. Let's talk first about the benefits before we go to that other slide. So what are the benefits of having advanced and specialty clubs? And I know we still haven't talked about specialty clubs. We'll get to that, you know, bit of a cliffhanger. So the benefits, one would be you're able to acquire specialized knowledge and skills, because when you have a regular club, you will have different levels. You will have very new people, you will have very, very experienced people, you will have people with general interests. You cannot really focus. So with an advanced specialty club, you can acquire special knowledge or skills. For example, that example of the DJ, the disc jockeys, or in my case, the trainers club, and we'll have several more examples shortly. Another is to develop your skills to a higher level. Again, similar to the first, you can specialize and you can go higher because you are more or less on the same level. You're not so spread out as you would be with a regular or an entry-level club. And you can have all kinds of themes or segments or events. You can have open houses every meeting. We can have debates. You can have whatever you want based on your club mission or your club specialization. Again, I'm using that word specialization, and we get there. You can advance faster on your projects because one, you will have more people who are with you at that level. And also, usually, not all the time, but usually, advanced clubs are a little bit smaller than the regular clubs. You can have individual goals and interests and aspirations more focused. And the mentorship becomes very specific when you're talking about advanced specialty clubs. And the cool thing is you can collaborate with other clubs that specialize in similar areas. For instance, my storytelling club, last year, we collaborated. We are a 100% online storytelling club. We collaborated with a storytelling club in District 27. So we came in on Zoom and we had 6 people telling stories online and 6 people telling stories in Arlington, Virginia. That was fun. I think it was the first. I don't think there's been another one of that kind of event. And it enhances the overall Toastmasters experience, just because you're not tied down to the usual meetings every week or whatever your agenda may be. You can play around with it because you're not worrying about newbies who don't even know what are they doing. You're not confusing newcomers because you don't have newcomers. Usually people will have certain experience or knowledge or whatever your advanced or specialization may be. And you can demonstrate the full range and flexibility of Toastmasters. Let me just get this. Sorry about that. There you are. This is what I wanted to show you earlier. There are a couple of District 21 clubs with online attendance. The ones that I've marked off in green, I know really exist. And I know that they really have online attendance because I'm a member. I'm a member of First Canadian Toastmasters. And I was formerly a member of Royal Roads Toastmasters. I might renew. It's just that, you know, when you have 7 clubs, you have to kind of balance. It gets pricey after a while when you're paying for membership dues. This club says that it has online attendance, but I think it's still a prospective club. Sean would probably know. British Columbia Public Service Virtual Communicators. And then this, I tried to visit them online, but I couldn't find, the link broke. It didn't bring me to them. So I don't know if they exist, Persuaders, Toastmasters. But those are the two online, the two clubs, these two clubs, First Canadian and Royal Roads. I know they're existing clubs, so you might want to visit them or us.
The other two, I don't think they're chartered yet. And we also have, by the way, we have Toastmasters, which also has online members.
It's not listed on the Toastmasters Find a Club. So that's one of the things I was going to suggest. If you become a club that allows online attendance, make sure that you change the supplement, the addendum of club, was that the supplementary information? Because that feeds into Find a Club. So when you go into Find a Club, people will see that you have online attendance.
It's also an advanced club, so it has a challenge. So it's got some additional challenges there too.
Yep,
But
yep.
That's a good idea. That's a good input.
So let's now talk about specialty clubs, because I've kind of gone around, mentioned specialty clubs. And really, if you look on the Toastmasters International website, there is really no term specialty clubs per se, because they can be an advanced club, they can be a community club, they can be any kind of club, but they have a specialty. And I've looked at several different districts, and they have different ways of presenting their specialty clubs. District 21 has several of them, but I wanted to show you some ways or some examples that you can have specialty clubs. You can have a specialty club on storytelling. I've already mentioned two examples, Witty Storytellers and the Storytelling Club in District 27. District 7 has, I think, 2 or 3 storytelling clubs, Tell Me a Story, Story Masters, and so on. You can have a science specialization. The International Rice Research Institute in District 75, their specialty is science because they're researchers. You can have a sports-oriented specialty club, talking about sports. Your terminology can all be sports. You can use baseball or whatever terminology. So that would be a specialty club. You can have a club. Oh boy, that would be a fun club. You can have a club that focuses on politics. Liberty Talkers in District 7 is a club that specializes in politics. And in Founders, we had the Contrarians. Our focus was politics, religion, and sex. I swear. Yeah, you can Google them, or I used to be a member there. You can have a club that specializes in presenting, professional development. You can have specialty on education, on entertainment, on exploration. I think there's a National Geographic Club. I'm trying to find where it is, but I read it in the Toastmasters magazine at one time. So you can have a club that talks about different parts of the world. Wow, that's interesting. You can have, oh, this is quite common, you can have a comedy club, a humor club. You can have a club that talks about food, about cuisine. Gourmet Toastmasters and Founders, they go from one restaurant to another. They meet once a month. They go from one restaurant to another. They have a meal and then they have their meeting. You can have a church specialty club where you focus on the Bible, or you do, I'm sorry, I would probably not join that club, but you could have, and I know that there are districts with church-focused clubs. Oh, this one is fun. You could have an improv club, or an inspirational club where you practice inspirational speeches, or a club for innovation where your table topics would be all about discovering new things, and the speeches people would be encouraged to speak about new discoveries. You could have an arts focused club, or you could have one of those ancestry.com, or you could have a drinkers club, alcohol, a wine club, Tustin Wine Masters. I joined it for a while, but it was hard because after you attend a meeting, then you can't drive home. I would have to have somebody drive me because, you know, you'd have 2 or 3 glasses of wine. So that's a specialty club. In Vegas, District 33, they have Toast, what do they call it? Toast to us or something like that. And they start with a toast, literally a toast. And their meetings are usually quite lively because it's in a bar and everybody gets a little bit inebriated.
We have a Finding Vino.
Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that. And so you're ahead there. You already have your alcohol club, but hey, you could have a beer club. You could have, you know, you could have
Yes, yes, yes.
beer
Yeah.
masters. See, Marie, you could have beer masters. And you could even have different meeting places. I don't know if your area is like Oregon. There's so many of these, what do they call that? Microbreweries. I'm thinking we here in District 7, we could start a beer masters where we go around to the different microbreweries and have our meetings there. You could have a leadership club. I know you have one. Is it, I think you have 2 specialty clubs, Sean, that are focused on leadership. Or is it one of the other districts I looked? I visited so many districts, I can't be sure anymore. But you can have a leadership focus club. You can have a language club, French or Spanish or Arabic. Toastmasters has so many different manuals written in different languages.
We have a couple of Mandarin clubs.
Yeah, yeah. And then you can have a laughter club, which of course is also comedy, but there are laughter clubs where you don't have to be funny. You just laugh. Google it. It's really different from just comedy. It's just laughter. And somebody even gave me an offer to become a laughter specialist, certified laughter specialist. But oh boy, I mean, and oh, I love this one. It can be, of course, as I already mentioned, training. It can be travel, or it can be technology. Or I am trying to remember which district it was. I know the youth development, there are several districts, but I visited a district where they had a club that practiced yodeling. And I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm good with that, but like, and they said it's really good for your vocal cords. And can you imagine somebody did a table topics in yodels? I mean, it was like, whoa. It was pretty fun. And they were laughing. So these are just some examples. And there's so many other examples of specialty clubs. There are no rules as far as specialty clubs. Whatever you want to have as your specialization, go for it. What was the other? Oh, I'm starting one. It's called Friday Night Fun Masters. Well, it would be a combination of travel and food and fun, because we're going to drive up and down I-5 and stop at places that have food. So it's going to be a different place every month. And so there's the travel, and it will have online attendance. So if you don't want to travel too far, then you can attend online. So that would be a combination of these several examples. So let me share with you, and I will share the slides later so you can click on these. The Founders District has links to their specialty clubs. District 4 has links, District 5, District 6, let's skip the ones in yellow because they're very special. We'll go back to them. District 25, 29, 36, 39. These are all links to advanced or specialty clubs. Most districts just kind of combine them, as you can see, advanced and specialty, advanced and specialty, specialty, advanced. District 21, I don't know what's wrong with my throat. That's what happens when I eat too much peanuts. Problem is I love peanuts. So District 21 has has separated the specialty. I hope, wait, when I click, I think I'm going to lose the share. Are you still seeing the share, or you lost? What are you seeing now?
I can still see the, we're on specialty clubs now.
There. These are specialty clubs. There's the Finding Bino, there's Toast Mentors, there's the First Mandarin Toastmasters, there's the Readers and Debaters. So these are your specialty clubs. And then if you, okay, let me get rid of that. Okay, I think at this point I have accidentally closed the window. Let me open it again. Advanced clubs. The advanced clubs are, whoops. Advanced clubs. This would be in terms of different regions or areas. So if you look at Victoria, you have master motivators, and you see it's mentioned again, readers and debaters, because as I said, and we said, advanced specialty, they can be either or both. So readers and debaters is listed again here, and Victoria apparently has none right now. We have Mid-Island Advanced. That's wait, are you seeing what I'm clicking or not?
Yes.
Okay, good. So you're seeing Mid-Island Advanced.
Yeah.
And Delta, it's still a prospective club. I like the name though, Club 2020. And Richmond has spotlight speakers. Surrey has the professional edge, spontaneous speakers, speakers advantage. So these are all, I love this. I wonder, it's 9 p.m. See, this is the kind of club I like, Midnight Madness.
Oh,
I
they've
wish,
changed their name though. They're now Engaging Humor.
oh, but I hope they'll add online attendance. I could join.
Well, they don't. They actually, they started early. That's why it says 9 p.m. They did change their time.
Yeah, but it's always nice to try to persuade clubs to consider online attendance. I know that's a different topic, but I am such a strong advocate for it because it just opens doors to people who would otherwise not be able to join these clubs. So there you are. Those are the clubs in the district. And I had one more final slide that I wanted to show, and that is the how to start there. I was saying there, but I haven't clicked share yet. Ha ha ha. There you are. So this one is very quick in a nutshell because I know that you've had a different session on how to start a new club. So this is just when you're trying to start an advanced or specialty club, the same rules apply for, obviously, for any club, but there's really more need to have a very clear and compelling vision because that's going to drive the interest. When I started Global Trainers Online, it just popped up. I was thinking, I want to start a club for trainers. And so I had a very clear vision. I've never changed it. Back then, it was to create a club that would help bring out the best in trainers worldwide. So that was one-liner, helping to bring out the best in trainers worldwide. That was my clear and compelling vision. And then we set the minimum criteria for membership, which was that the member would have to have at least a competent communicator. This was before Pathway, so at least a competent communicator, or must have experience in training. And the number 3 was really hard. When you try to decide the club, well, the name was easy, but the meeting day, time, and frequency, that gets hard. And that's why it's important that you decide it early because you will never please all of the people all of the time. You just have, number 1, to please yourself first. You have to consider yourself. Can I make this time, this day, this frequency? And just a word of advice, which I know is so difficult for busy people, but if you're trying to start a club, it usually helps if you consider weekly. And I know that's hard, especially if you're thinking of advanced. So there's pros and cons. You have to give up certain things. When you don't meet weekly, then you don't get put on people's calendars. But on the other hand, you don't burn yourself out. So you have to weigh pros and cons. I'm just talking fast, so we'll have time for a Q&A. So craft your communication message and your publicity program. Make it clear in your mind, what are you going to do? Where are you going to communicate? Who is going to be helping you? And then reach out to fellow Toastmasters. This is so important. Even if you're the best and the greatest, you can't do it alone. So reach out to fellow Toastmasters. And when you reach out, there's more details there that I'm not going to, they're not on the slide, but consider who could be your club sponsors, who could be your mentors, who could be your champions. That's why it's so important to reach out to fellow Toastmasters. Find an accessible, affordable, if possible, free an available venue, because you can have the first two, accessible and affordable, but if it's not consistently available, that's not going to work. So try and find AAA, accessible, affordable, and available venue. And then recruit members and manage your charter paperwork. When I did Global Trainers Online, I would not recommend this. It was too fast, but we chartered within a month. Don't do what I did. That was too fast. 2 to 3 months is good. If you wait too long, then the interest and the momentum will start to go down. There's a wonderful article by Fanush. Gosh, I forgot her last name. Anyway, it's a wonderful article, and this is the link, Prolific Living, how to create a new Toastmasters club. She actually writes about how to start an advanced club. And she has 20 points, all very good points. So I recommend that you take a look at that article. Okay, so we are done on the slides, and I will now stop the screen share. And if anybody has any questions, comments, suggestions, anything, Sean, the floor is open to anyone and everyone.
Well, thank you very much, Michelle. I appreciate that. So let's open up the questions to everyone. Anyone who wants to ask a question, please feel free. Don't be shy.
Raymond here. Are there a number of clubs now that have added online members? And how successful are they?
Okay, now I want to answer that with a little bit of a qualification, because the success will depend on, I guess, how we are, what's the baseline. And I am not so sure with Royal Roads, because I joined them and then I didn't stay too long. But I can speak from experience in District 7 and in District 75. So District 7 first. A club, one of the clubs that I'm coaching right now, Feather Communicators, I heard that they were going to just basically be closed down by Toastmasters International because there was only one paid member left in October last year. One single member. So Toastmasters suspended the club. Well, it was like a triage, emergency. I contacted some friends. One of them, Arlene, is living in Lexington, Kentucky. And I live in Oregon, but the club was too far. No, actually, I was in the Philippines when I heard about that. So I couldn't have come physically. So I was in the Philippines. Arlene was in Lexington. We talked with the soul. Remember, there was only one member left, Kevin. And he had lost access to Club Central. So we coached him, we helped him. Now we have, I know this sounds small for the big clubs, but now we have 10 members. So that was from 1 in October last year. Today is March 24, we have 10 members. And that would not have happened without online attendance.
Oh.
Number one, because the two coaches, myself and Arlene, are both online. No way can Arlene fly. She's actually a pilot, and we were kidding her, well, you can always get on your plane and fly to Oregon. But she lives in Kentucky. So
Oh.
there's no way she could come. So we're from 1, Kevin, to 10. The other club that I'm helping in District 7 is Oregon Communicators. It's in kind of high desert. I don't know if you've ever, well, you live in cold countries, you would understand. When it snows, it's bad. So they were down to 3 in, when did she reach out to me? I think she started reaching out third quarter, but they didn't start getting desperate until the renewal time in October, and there were only 3 who renewed. So she reached out and I said, well, okay, let's do this. So we've been doing our coaching sessions and we attend the meetings online. And by the way, my co-coach is from your district,
Oh.
Brian Dodd. How many of you know Brian? Brian
We know
Dodd.
Brian.
Yep, Brian is my co-coach. And so Oregon Communicators was down to 3. We're not back to 10 yet, or we're not beyond 10. We're still at 8. But we have had a couple of special events thanks to the ideas of the coaches. And we'll probably not hit distinguished end of June, but at least the club's not going to get suspended. So those are my 2 examples in District 7. District 75, I have similar examples, but I won't go into details. With District 21, I really cannot say because I don't have enough of personal experience yet. But because of your weather conditions, I would think that online attendance would be a really helpful adjunct. It should not replace whatever else you're doing, but it could be an additional tool to help you retain members, to help you recruit members, and to help you reinstate members. That's what we did with Feather Tongues. That's why it went from 1 to 10, because we contacted former members and they were like, well, we can't attend regularly. We can't drive down there. Well, you don't have to attend regularly in person. You can Zoom in. You can do it on your phone. And that attracted them to renew their membership. It was a very long answer. I'm sorry. And next question.
No,
Just
excellent.
I think there's some follow-ups in there from Raymond as well. Go ahead, Raymond.
What are you talking to?
I was talking to you, Raymond. I thought you had some follow-up questions there.
Yes, I do. We're looking at moving one of our clubs to the college and to work with students as well. Have you got any suggestions? I think, for example, the online individuals could be added from a college quite easily. You got any other kind of suggestions that would help us make the college setup work better? I have one thing. I think we need to have shorter memberships, like 10-month memberships for students, but that's one of my things.
If I were to say, just based on experience with students, I'm not saying don't try to reach out to student memberships, but I guess the reality with students is, number one, their focus is on getting their classes, attending their classes, getting their grades up, and they often don't have control over how their class schedules will be the next terms, the next quarter. So it's really it's not impossible. I never say impossible, but it's very difficult. The University of Oregon, District 7, Oregon, has a club, and their membership goes like real up and down depending on the student enrollment. And I think the University of Oregon State University, I hope this is incorrect, because I think they've closed down the Toastmasters club. So I don't know whether it will work for you. Royal Roads actually used to be in the what they call that, the college, the Royal Roads University, but I think they've moved out because it was getting, there were certain rules, but go for it. If you have an accessible, affordable, and available venue in a college, well, go for it. But put your don't count too much on the students. Make sure that you have a core group of regulars, because if you're just counting on the students, it's going to be a precarious situation. What do you
Yeah.
think, Sean?
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. We have had several within District 21, and we still have a number of clubs that are based at universities. The challenge is with the student body, and that's to your point that their schedule and their from one term to the next, your registration will go all over the place, membership will go all over the place. So you really require faculty and other members or other people to be members of the club in order to establish a stable base. And then you have some conflicts between faculty and students, potentially. Neither one really wants the other. So there's some challenges there. I wanted to go back though to a comment that Raymond made, or the question that when he was asking earlier about the online clubs. Well, I believe that there's a minimum requirement to have online members to be a real club, to be an on-site club, but to have virtual online members, that you have to have a minimum of
51%. It has to be 51%. And we've had long and tedious debates with World Headquarters about this. And I know this is recorded, and I will say this because I've also said this directly to them more than once in some irate tone sometimes, because their requirements are a bit unrealistic. Remember the heavy snowstorms? One of the clubs that I know, which is a blended club, meaning having online attendees but physical, they couldn't meet in the venue because the snow was too high. And they said, well, we'll just meet online. And I'm like, you can't do that. You can't do that. And just to be sure, I called up World Headquarters, but I did not mention the club name. I just said, hey, with really bad weather, can the club meet? And they just threw me the book, like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yes, I know. I'm a past district director. I know what's there, but are there any exceptions? And no. So it's kind of unreasonable. In other words, they would rather have the club not meet at all rather than meet all online or, with just one person in the room. No, it has to be 51% or more.
So Raymond, to your point in your question earlier, you can have members who are online. Just make sure that the percentages always work in your favor. You can't rely on those people to make up the core base of the membership.
And I think Catherine wants to say something. Catherine, just unmute yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The question I have is specifically towards advanced clubs. Excuse me. And how do you market to advanced clubs successfully when they have to have a certain requirement for education or experience?
Yes, I love that question, Catherine. I don't know if you know past international president Alfred Hersing. I was fortunate to have him as my mentor when I was in district leadership. And he had this talk that he called, "Would you like to drive my Ferrari?" And I mean, it was a very intriguing title. And the overall premise of this talk was that it all depends on the approach. Because if you say to people that, I've got this Ferrari, would you like to ride it? I mean, everybody's going to go, yes, please, please, please. And so the approach with an advanced club has to be like that. And I've seen that, like I said, with Global Trainers Online. This was the excitement. This is going to be the club that will help to bring out the best in trainers worldwide. And then I had a countdown to launch. I posted it on our Facebook group. I had a clock ticking that we have 29 days, 28 days. And I had a deadline. We were going to submit our club charter in Vancouver on August 26th. And we actually did. But the point is, it was getting everybody excited. I got PayPal payments from people. I mean, I would suddenly see a PayPal coming in, and I'm like, Julian Merlo Salazar, Mexico. Do I know this person? Well, it turned out people were getting so excited. And on the last day, I already had my 20, but it was, I think, I left for Vancouver, I think on the 16th. Anyway, the day before I left for Vancouver, I get this urgent message from a lady in Turkey. Oh, she was presidential citation recipient this last year in Chicago. Anyway, Denise. So she says, Michelle, I heard that you're starting this advanced club. Please, I'm an advanced trainer. I'm an international trainer. Please, can I still join? I'm like, sure. So, you got to have the excitement. People will want to buy into something that's exciting. They don't want to get left out. So that's the way you pitch an advanced club. The same with DJ MC Masters. They chartered fairly quickly because they were like, you have to have experience as a disc jockey. If you don't have, we're not going to accept you. You must prove that you have MC experience, paid MC experience. So people were trying to prove, yes, I MC this and I got paid. So it has to be that excitement, that there's this feeling of I'm a member of a certain level. I'm not down here, I'm up here. I want to be part of this.
An elite club.
Yes, an elite club. In fact, you used the perfect word, Baghdad Elite Toastmasters. There's already a Baghdad Toastmasters, and they were starting Baghdad Elite Toastmasters, and that's it. And my gosh, they charge a lot. And they get dressed in suits to attend the Baghdad Elite Toastmasters because there's that feeling that they're elite. They're the premier group. Boy, I mean, I'm sorry. I give long answers, but I just get so excited about certain information. Sean, just stop me anytime. So we have it's 7:52. We have time for a couple more questions, and I'll really try to answer as briefly as I can.
Anyone else? Just unmute yourselves if you have a question. Jan, I saw that you were unmuted a minute ago, but I heard some feedback, so I muted you. So if you wanted to, I can unmute you if you like. I'm unmuting you, hopefully.
Hi, Sean. Yes, thanks for that. I thought that was probably the case. I've been putting notes on chat, and I don't know if you've been seeing them. And I said thank you because you mentioned the question about the status of clubs that had in-person attendance versus online. And nice to see you, Michelle.
Hey, hi.
Saw you in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So, great job tonight. So yes, my question was addressed. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
All right, anyone else have any questions?
I'm just wondering if there's a ratio of community clubs to advanced clubs that's appropriate.
Hi, Michael.
Hi. Was that Michael asking?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's the phone. Okay. Well, the ratio, that's an interesting question because I know you probably were on the ferry and you didn't catch the start. I was saying that there really, I mean, you can have community clubs that are advanced. I know it's an interesting concept, but you can have a community club that's advanced. You can have a community club that's a specialty. You can have a specialty advanced online. I mean, you can have any kind of mix. So I've never, ever thought about a ratio between community and advanced clubs. I think the more common question I hear is the ratio between community and corporate clubs. I hear that more often. Community and corporate. And I know that some people are feeling uncomfortable that it seems like Toastmasters is focusing more attention towards the corporate clubs. But that's, number one, that's not a question of advanced or specialty, because corporate clubs can be regular clubs. They can be advanced, they can be specialty, but they can be regular. Many corporate clubs are regular clubs. And then, like I said, community clubs can be advanced, can be specialty. In fact, a lot of community clubs are specialty clubs. So it's really not an either or. It's not an exclusive question between community or advanced or community or specialty, because they can be both. And I think we have time for one more question.
Yeah, it's Catherine here. I just to follow up with what Michael said, is that in Victoria, for instance, we have over 40 clubs and only 2 advanced specialty clubs.
Whoa.
So yeah, it seems like a low ratio. And I looked at all the capital cities. Victoria is the capital city of BC, and I looked at capital cities across Canada, and they have a much higher ratio of advanced clubs to non-advanced clubs.
Is
one to
incentive to start them up.
You know how I would see that? I would see that as a major opportunity.
Yes.
Because you can have it can seem like the area is saturated, but if they are all regular, in other words, non-advanced, non-specialty clubs, you still have that niche. I don't know if any of you know of either Rick Forbush or Joe Madley. These 2 guys are competing with each other in a friendly way to be the ones who have helped to start the most number of clubs. The last time I heard Rick, I think he was at 155, and I think Joe was at 140. So they were trying to chase each other. But both of them will say that you look at an area for the potential, and you always look at the possibility of having an advanced or a specialty club in an area, even if there's already a Toastmasters club. In fact, the same building can have several clubs because you can have people who are maybe not interested in a regular morning club who would be interested in an evening advanced club, and vice versa, or in a different day.
Yes, I agree. I think that, sometimes we lose members because they feel that they've met their capacity in a regular club, and they're not seeing the opportunity to advance their skills with a more advanced group. And I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah, excellent point, Catherine. And I would recommend you read when I send the slides, you click on that link that I have on the last slide, the prolific living, because she was talking exactly about that. Some of her members had started, they had lost interest. They were not renewing because they felt we're not getting anything from this club anymore. But when she started an advanced club, then these members came out of the woodwork and joined her.
Absolutely. I was going to reiterate that point that can justify building an advanced club or creating an advanced club. It also, if you look at your own club, the club that you belong to, and you're not getting the availability or opportunity to be challenged, one of the things that I did at one of my previous clubs was to have an advanced night. So out of the one meeting every week, but one meeting a month, we said this is the advanced meeting night. Only advanced speakers and advanced evaluators. So that way you get challenged. And that's if you wanted to save up, if you were a higher level and you wanted to save up your speeches for that night, then that would be the night to do it. So you can do it within an existing club, but sometimes it just makes more sense, as Michelle says, there's opportunity to build those new clubs.
Right. And a day of the week also. I don't know if you have a Sunday club. District 7 has a lone Sunday club. And we always say, past International President Gary Schmidt uses that as an example, that if there had been no Sunday club, then past District Governor Rose Wellman, one of our best district governors in District 7, would never have joined Toastmasters because she traveled so much for work, she would never have joined a club during the week. And one day she was looking for a club that met on Sunday, and she saw one. She attended it, and as we always say, the rest is history. So you have to consider some days of the week may not have as much saturation yet.
We do have one club that meets on Sunday, and that happens to
Yay.
be Toast Mentors, which is an advanced club and partially online. So it meets all of the criteria.
There you are.
All right.
Okay.
I'm looking at the clock. We're at the top of the hour. Thank you so much again, Michelle Evelyn, for all of your wise information, for the slides you provided, and I'm assuming you'll send them to me so we can distribute them to the people who registered for the call.
Absolutely.
We'll be posting this online. We'll be posting the recording online, and I really appreciate your attendance, all of you for attending in the audience. And again, Michelle, thank you for a wonderful presentation on the advanced and specialty clubs. You did an amazing job, and I'm very impressed. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you to Mike for inviting me. I mean, thank you so much. District 21 is my adopted district. I am an official member. So yeah, and I love it because you guys are ahead of the curve with a lot of things. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I'll
Bye-bye.
stop the recording.
Thank you.
Thank you.